What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathon and Elijah.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Welcome back, everyone. I beat my sickness. If anyone cares, I've been working in Champaign all week. I'm typically a Danville boy, and they're moving me to Champaign for the week at least. So I've been fighting that sickness there, and it was a rough week though. Being outside of my store and everything. But other than that, can't complain too much. Food over there is significantly better than Danville. If you know, you know. So, how's your week been though, Jonathan?
Pretty good. Nothing too crazy. Definitely agree with the food options. I was just thinking, we're recording this. It's Friday night. It's 8:00. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So I'm like, what am I going to eat for dinner? Some places like close at 9. I'm like, kind of fucked myself on that. But yeah, Champaign definitely has some elite food options. But Bloomington might be the top dog.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's close.
No, well, like statistically, I think it is the best. There's like a thing, and it's like the number one per capita fast food places in the country.
Yeah.
In the country,
that's per capita. Per capita, who cares about capita?
I know, but still, it's like
drive
down Veterans, boom, boom, boom. Taco Bell, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, everywhere.
I think Champaign and Bloomington, a bracket, they'd go far. You may see them meeting in the finals.
But before we get into today's topic, we got to talk about the Sweet Corn Festival. If you're from Hoopston, like you said about the fast food restaurants, if you know, if you're from Hoopston,
all you got to say is Sweet Corn Festival.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, if you're from Hoopston, if you're from the VC, if you're from anywhere in the area, you probably know. If you're not, you just don't get it. Sweet Corn Festival, an elite time of the year for Hoopston, probably the only popping weekend in Hoopston. Yeah, the only elite weekend in Hoopston. It's a big weekend. Shout out again to my sister Lauren. She is, I don't know whether to say chairwoman, chairperson, but she's running shit out there at the Sweet Corn Festival. So it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. With a family member running, it's gonna be elite at least. And with it already being an elite time, let's see what happens. I'm already ready to put this in contention for the best Sweet Corn Festival ever, and it hasn't even started yet.
It's got to be. Do you have any good Sweet Corn Festival memories, good or bad? I guess any just good memories.
I had my first kiss at the Sweet Corn Festival.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. There's tons of memories that come to mind when I think of the Sweet Corn Festival. I can't even put a number on, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm really excited now because outside of high school, we'd always have games on Friday. So I'd be so exhausted on that Saturday. So I missed the best 2 days. So I'm a lot more excited now that I'm out of high school and done playing football.
Respect. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Yeah, we always had soccer on Thursday, it felt like. So I never got to the Super Festival on Thursday, but then I got to go the other days, but it was cool. I had two just quick stories I was thinking about when I think about the Super Corn Festival. First, if you know the Super Corn Festival, it's carnival type, there's rides. And both of these stories involve the rides. The first one is going to be the Zipper. The Zipper, it's this ride. It goes around in a circle, and the carts themselves can rotate. Kind of crazy, especially if you're a kid. So here I am, young third grade me, going to the Sweet Corn Festival with my parents, just walking out with my parents. We run into my boy, Nathan, and his brother, Aaron, and their parents as well. And so then I've never ridden the Zipper before, but Nathan, he's definitely a roller coaster type of guy. Even as we got older, he was. And so, I was interested. I was like, okay, I haven't done it, but I'll do it. I'm in third grade, whatever. I'm just a kid. So me and Nathan get on it with his older brother, Aaron, the three of us in the same cart on the Zipper. And so for those of you who have not ridden it, it's you can move, you can pivot in the cart, and you can kind of do it to yourself. If you want to rock it, you can rock it. And I was not trying to do all that. And so it's kind of like a Ferris wheel. It goes in the circle, and as people get loaded on, you can end up at the top. And as people get off, you end up at the top. So we get on. We're probably the last ones to get on. So we do the ride. Whatever. It's decent. It's fine. I wasn't tweaking that hard. Then we get stuck at the top when they're unloading. And Nathan's brother is just shaking the shit out of this thing. And I am fucking tweaking so hard. It's just like a carnival ride, like Hoopston carnival ride. It's not Six Flags. There's no safety protocols. I'm just tweaking. And then we get off and I'm literally like laughing and crying both at the same time, like, because it was funny, but I did survive, but I was also petrified. But, you know, I wrote it like every year after that many times. So it did really scar me. But in that moment, I thought I was going to die for sure.
No, I'm a bitch with carnival rides, especially. Still to this day, I will not ride carnival rides like that. They go upside down. So I'm with you there. I mean, even to a further extent that I won't even get on a ride that goes upside down. So,
oh, I definitely am fine with it. Like, I would ride it again to this day. I probably wouldn't have haven't ridden it in like 10 years, but like, I'm not scared to ride it. Like, I would. Like, I love going to amusement parks, doing some, you know, roller coasters. If they go upside down, that's even better.
yeah,
I trust the safety at like big amusement parks. And then my second one, this is more music related, so I thought this was a good one to share. So I mentioned my boy Chalky before. He moved to Hubson when we were freshmen in high school. And the Sweetcorn Festival, you know, it's Labor Day weekend, so that's pretty early into the school year. So we really weren't friends yet. We were just like, we knew each other a little bit, but we ended up going to Sweetcorn Festival together. I think his stepdad, our basketball coach, said something like, "Oh, you guys go to the Sweetcorn Festival," so we all did. Anyway, me and him and one of our other friends rode one of the rides, and it was going in a circle, and it is like you're in little cars and you go up and down a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but if you're been at Sweetcorn Festival, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's like that was my favorite.
Yeah, it's like right there when you walk in most of the time. Anyway, we were at freshman high school and we were going around, and somehow we all just started rapping "Faded" by Tyga with Lil Wayne, bar for bar, word for word, and that's just like a core memory of the beginning of my friendship with him. So yeah, got some love for the Sweetcorn Festival, of course.
Definitely. Tyga was that guy back in the day. I remember that when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. I always used to be banging Tyga. So
Tyga was really him for a couple of years.
I don't think we've ever mentioned Tyga on the podcast. You know, I like when we bring up people we've never mentioned, and then you know, so there's your first mention, Tyga. If you're out there,
shout
listening.
out to Tyga. There's definitely a lot of people that they'll get that first mention sometime soon. But yeah, man, I'm so excited for the Sweetcorn Festival. Can't wait to get some lemonade shakeups, a strawberry lemon shakeup. Actually, that's exactly what I need. There's this one spot that hits a little bit different. Also a big snow cone guy, so I need to get both of those and some curly fries. Those are like my essentials this Sweetcorn Festival.
Definitely. Funnel cake's an essential for me. So
those hit.
Definitely gonna have to. Yeah, definitely gonna.
Options.
Carnival food is it's elite.
Yeah, we're talking about all the options in Champaign and Bloomington, but the Sweetcorn Festival has some elite options out there. But you know, we're talking about all this nostalgia. I think that's kind of a good segue into today's topic. A couple weeks back, we did the 2018 albums of the year. Talked about some of our favorites, ranked them. And, you know, we hinted that 2016, that those 2 years are very, very close. Some of people's favorite years in recent memory. So we thought it's only right that we dive in to 2016 this week. We're going to do a 32 song bracket and decide what the best song of 2016 was. So when we're going to this list, I'll make a couple disclaimers. One, there's no songs by The Weeknd or Frank Ocean. Don't consider them rap. And for the bracket, we picked like the hit songs. So you're not going to find like super deep cuts. There's only like one artist I would consider underground on this, and it's Danny Brown, but his album was so good. And it did have a hit song with, you know, features from like Kendrick. So I felt it was definitely good to be included here. But then, I mean, you're not going to have like Summer Friends on Coloring Book. You're going to get no problem. Yeah. So, you know, we'll get into the bracket, but there's only one song per artist per album. So like you might see Drake twice because, you know, he had Views, he had some singles, he did have features on DJ Khaled's album. So he's an exception almost, but we'll get into it. And you'll see
it's
for yourself.
The boy, though.
It is the boy Drizzy. It's Champagne Poppy. All right. I think it's time to get into it, though.
All right, let's go.
So to decide how the bracket was going to be, we put 32 songs in a playlist, shuffled it, and then just played the first song and then skipped through it. And that's how we got our matchups. So these are all random. So you might see, you know, some good matchups and some not so good matchups in the first round, but that's just how the shuffle gods want it to be. So we'll get into it. With the first matchup, we have For Free by DJ Khaled featuring Drake versus Devastated by Joey Badass. You know, All American Badass did drop in 2017, but this song dropped almost a year before that in 2016. So I had to have it included. How are you feeling about this matchup?
I got to go with Devastated here. I think that one's had better longevity, along with, like, I remember back in the day, we used to watch these little football clips on Instagram, like hurdles and shit like that. and fucking Devastated used to be one that hit a juke into just like that. I used to be, and then yeah. So I mean, this is an easy choice for me. Although For Free is a banger still.
I was never that big into For Free. Like I definitely listened to it then a little bit, but that was like, before I had taste, like my fully taste developed.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my God, Drake is God. This is it. DJ Khaled, the GOAT. But yeah, it's Devastated. This was like, not my intro to Joey Badass, but I definitely got more and more into Joey as the years have gone on. And this is a song that was, instrumental in that. So yeah, definitely got to go Devastated here.
Devastated's a fucking hit too. I mean, like that one's really stood like the test of time. I mean, it's 6 years now, and every time I hear it, it gets me going. So
100%, it's a hit. Let's move on to the next one though. We got Chill Bill by Rob Stone versus Both by Gucci Mane featuring Drake.
This isn't even a question to me. And Chill Bill clears. This is like one of my favorites from that time. For me personally, this is like freshman year of high school. It just screams it for me.
Okay. I think this is an interesting matchup. You're kind of going with the production on Chill Bill versus the catchiness of the chorus of Both. And it's kind of feeling which one's better. Like, I don't think the rapping on Chill Bill is anything that crazy. Like, it's definitely good. The flows are good. It really, he rides the beat very well. All of them do. Versus, Gucci Mane and Drake, two much bigger artists at the time. Catchier song for sure. But does the production outweigh it? I don't know. I kind of would lean Both here.
We're going to have, disagreements, I guess. And I'm going to say that I'm going to use my veto here that Chill Bill goes. Chill Bill moves. It clears.
I'm fine with that.
I'll give you the next one, but okay. This is one that I will not let loose first round.
Okay, I respect that. I think it's also very, tough to decide whether we're talking about what song is the best, like to this day, versus what song was like 2016. Like what song?
Yeah, I'm trying to do like a good mix of that.
I agree. So yeah, I think okay. Chill Bill, that's fine. It's a good song. I'm not mad at it. All right, the next matchup we have Money Longer by Lil Uzi Vert versus Summer 16 by Drake. How you feeling here?
Ooh, this is a tough one. This is a really tough matchup here. But I think I'm gonna go Money Longer. This is kind of one of the first tracks I heard by Uzi. And then Summer 16 is still a slapper, but I just think Money Longer is it's aged better.
Money Longer wipes here for me. Yeah, it was a hit then. It's a hit now versus I was definitely bumping Summer 16 in Summer 16, but that was really the last time I listened to it. Maybe early 2017, but then after that I just could not tell you last time I listened to this song.
It definitely does not have the longevity there. So
no, Money Longer is a certified hit. I remembered that summer, like my boy Nathan I mentioned earlier, he went on vacation that summer down somewhere, more south, like maybe Myrtle Beach or somewhere in South Carolina, and he was talking about how when he got there, everybody was just driving Jeeps like with the doors off and they were just playing Money Longer. And that I think gives it it's something intangible about that. Like it was just a moment in the culture versus like Summer 16 that, it was a good song. People will definitely listen to it, but Money Longer, that was like the rise of Uzi. It was peak SoundCloud era. So it's got to be Money Longer.
Definitely.
All right. The next one we have Really Doe by Danny Brown featuring Kendrick Lamar, Ab-Soul, and Earl Sweatshirt versus Uber Everywhere by Made in Tokyo.
This one's like so tough because Uber Everywhere was just such like that was like one of my moments in high school. Like I remember just everybody banging that, especially my boy Anthony. So I think for that one, that has my vote there, but I would not be against Really Doe passing it up because I do think that one has better longevity. I can't remember the last time I heard Uber Everywhere. So
I definitely got to go with Really Doe here. Like you said, I don't know the last time I heard Uber Everywhere. I made a reference to it a couple weekends back. I took an Uber with my friends and then I made the caption Made in Tokyo. And I don't know if anybody got it. Like he wasn't like that big of a name. Like people knew the song, they didn't know his name. So I just don't know. It's Really Doe though for me. Yeah. It just hits. I mean, Earl's verse is crazy. I never thought there'd be a song where Earl would, have a better verse than Kendrick, but I think he does on this track. So yeah, that's maybe a hot take, but
yeah, maybe a hot take there. If you're watching, you can see my reaction to that. So
yeah, I don't know. I will say though, the line where Earl says it's a left-handed shooter, Kyle Lowry the pump, like I don't even know if that makes any sense. Like Kyle
it
Lowry's not
doesn't.
left-handed.
He's not.
But it's a bar. Like it's so hard.
It's a
All
good
right.
rap reference.
All right. Let's go with really dough here. Next matchup we have Broccoli by Drum featuring Lil Yachty versus Champions by Good Music. Kanye, Gucci Mane, Big Sean, 2 Chainz, and everybody else. How are you feeling here?
I loved Champion at the time, but Broccoli is a fucking powerhouse. This is number 1 seed fucking Kentucky, undefeated going into March Madness 38-0. This is a powerhouse team here, and we're gonna treat it as such. This is an easy clear.
I agreed. Like I remember Broccoli coming out, and it just was different. Like Yachty was just like a breath of fresh air, and he kills that song. Drum does his thing too. Now he goes by Shelly, but back when he was Drum, he was doing his thing. He's still doing his thing, I guess. But yeah, this song is it's a hit.
Nothing needs to be said.
No, you could not go anywhere in 2016 without hearing that. Like, and it's still, I think it has aged.
It still has the longevity. It's not like it's not one of these hits that just fell off. So
a hit that did fall off. I think we're going to see that this round though. We have Black Beatles by Ray Shremmerd featuring Gucci Mane versus One Night by Lil Yachty.
This is tough because Black Beatles had like a hold on with that challenge, with the like challenge where everybody's standing still. I can't remember what the challenge name was.
Mannequin challenge.
Yeah, mannequin challenge. I almost want to give it the vote for that, but I want to see where your head's at here before I give my final vote.
I'd say it's Yachty clear. Like Black Beatles was huge in its peak, but who's listening to Black Beatles in 2022? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how people are listening to some of these songs in general, I guess, but One Night I think has aged pretty well. Like I listened to it and I was like,
I did listen to it. Yeah. Probably like a couple months ago, I randomly listened to it, like went out and found it versus where it just came on shuffle. And yeah, that's why I was seeing where your head was at. So I'm all right with giving One Night the vote there.
Yeah, it's got to be Yachty. Like, I don't know, just the come up of Yachty in 2016 was something to witness. It was crazy. He was just different. Just had this energy that, a lot of rappers haven't been able to replicate. So yeah, just special. So got to be One Night. And there were so many other good songs on this project. Like was it going to be Minnesota or was it going to be One Night? There's even, more songs than that, but had to be One Night. That was the hit. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. We have Low Life by Future featuring The Weeknd versus Down in the DM by Yo Gotti.
We chose these songs like half and half. I just chose Down in the DM just to give a shout out to all the fucking hot Cheeto girls at school. That's what this song just reminds me of.
Okay, I was wondering because we didn't really talk about the picks besides. I was like, "Are you good with what we have right now?" So I put on the bracket. You're like, "Yeah." So I didn't know how you were feeling about Yo Gotti. Like I didn't know if you were really bumping it like that or what the deal was.
I mean, like it kind of, it was kind of like a little moment, or it came on every now and then. Just wherever. But I just had to give a shout to all the girls that couldn't fucking open a door handle without leaving hot Cheeto marks everywhere.
Okay, so
this is an easy clear for Low Life. Yeah,
right,
Low Life is still a fucking hit. So
yeah, I got a bias towards The Weeknd. We didn't have his project, but having him here in some way was good. All right, next matchup, No Problem by Chance featuring Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz versus Panda by Designer.
Panda's like St. Peter's basketball. Like you want to see it win. And it was just like, it's just such an insane, I remember in 8th grade hearing that for the first time and just like Panda. Yeah, it's just like, it's crazy. But No Problem is clearly the better track here.
100%. Yeah, I remember the first time I heard Panda. Like I was just driving down the street and with my friends and Panda I got bros in Atlanta like, huh? Like,
and then you kind of get into it. Yeah, you get into it.
Yeah,
at first
at first you're like, oh, this is trash. But then it's like one of those songs that the more and more you hear, you're like, all right, this kind of bangs. And then I think, it being on Life of Pablo as part 2, I thought that hit.
Yeah, no, it definitely did.
It was great energy. I'll never forget when Kanye came out as a surprise guest at Chance's festival. he did part 1 and part 2, and I was going crazy. I'd never loved Panda by Designer more than in that moment. And I think I also have like an emotional connection to it after that. But obviously I was at Chance's festival, so I'm a little biased in that regard as well. But it's no problem.
Yeah, no, easily.
All right. So the software we're doing the bracket on wants us to do the whole left side of the bracket, and then we'll go on to the right side. So we're moving on to the second round on the left side. So for the first second round matchup, we have Devastated by Joey Badass versus Chill Bill by Rob Stone, Jay Davis, and Spooks. How are you feeling about this matchup?
I gotta go Devastated by Joey. The longevity is what pushes it through. If you would have asked me this in 2016, I was definitely going with Chill Bill though.
I see. I would have gone Devastated then. I would go Devastated now. So I'm glad we agree on that. But yeah, it's I think it's pretty easily Devastated. All right, next matchup we have here. This is a really interesting one. We have Money Longer by Lil Uzi Vert versus Really Doe by Danny Brown.
Gotta go with Money Longer.
Oh, this is so tough for me because I love Really Doe. I don't want it knocked out this early, but if something was going to take it out, I think Money Longer is deserving.
Definitely. I mean, this shit, I really do, it's a good track. I mean, very good track, but this is Money Longer here.
I know. I love Really Doe though, so it's tough, but I'm fine. We'll go with Money Longer.
You're not talking some scrub like Uber Everywhere. We're talking about Money Longer by Lil fucking Uzi, bro.
I know, but we are talking about Really Doe, Kendrick Lamar, Ab
You need to put some more respect.
Earl Sweat. I love Uzi. I love Money Longer. I still listen to it fairly often, but the quality you're getting with Really Doe.
I don't. I think maybe I'd argue the quality on Really Doe is better, but just Money Longer, just what it did in that moment of time, along with, you know, we can still play that now and everybody is fucking.
I agree. That's exactly what I was saying. Like, I think the quality on Really Doe is higher, but I think Money Longer is like a bigger moment. So if something was going to beat Really Doe, I'm fine with it being Money Longer. Next matchup, we have Broccoli versus One Night, you know, kind of the battle of Lil Boat here.
For me personally, I got to go Broccoli.
I would agree. I'll go Broccoli as well. Broccoli.
Like I said, this is a powerhouse. This is a powerhouse. Like, we're going to treat it as such.
We'll have to see. I mean, it's making a run already. I think it's got some more in it. We'll see, but it's got big potential out of Broccoli. Next matchup, Low Life by Future featuring The Weeknd versus No Problem by Chance, Lil Wayne, and 2 Chainz. How you feeling here?
I know you're going to want it No Problem, and I'm okay with No Problem moving on. Although Low Life is just a phenomenal track.
I think it's a good matchup.
This is a very good. This is probably a next round matchup even.
It could definitely be if that's how the bracket would have shook out. I'd go No Problem here for the sole reason that The Weeknd has a line where he says he's camoed all out like he's in the military. That line alone sets No Problem ahead.
I agree with you there. So, you know, I love bringing back just some of these random bars from there. And it was really interesting when 2 Chainz played that. I was like, the whole time I was like, is he going to play it? Is he going to play it? And he came out and fucking played it. So,
all right, let's move on to the next matchup here. This is the third round on the left side. Devastated by Joey Badass versus Money Longer by Lil Uzi Vert.
This is a tough one. I want to see where your head's at here. I'll let you go first.
I'd go Money Longer here. I love Devastated. Wasn't my favorite track off All American Badass. Money Longer is certified hit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would have honestly just agreed with you regardless. This is a really toss-up one for me.
Yeah, I think it's close. 2 totally different tracks, but just the hit and the star power that was Lil Uzi Vert in 2016. I mean, it's got to be Money Longer for me.
I agree.
Next one here, Broccoli versus No Problem.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna let you go first on this one as well.
Okay. For an Elite 8 matchup, this is tough. Because these are 2, I think this could have been a championship. This could have been a Final Four. These are 2 songs that, you know, had the potential to make deep runs. I don't know. I kind of want to go Broccoli, honestly.
I'm honestly leaning more towards No Problem.
That's kind of backward. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah,
I'm fine with No Problem. If you want to go No Problem, that's fine with me.
I'm just like thinking of like both in my head right now, and fucking just Chance the Rapper. If one more and just
okay, let's go. No problem. That's kind of surprising that I'm the one that was on the opposite.
I just like at first I was okay with you and Broccoli moving on, but I just keep it's stuck in my head right now. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I was very in the middle on that, but I don't know, something about Broccoli. Like that one was both those songs are, iconic 2016 songs. They were everywhere, every party, every sporting event. You're gonna hear both those songs. So I think those were, two of the biggest songs. So it was a tough matchup, but yeah, I'm fine with no problem. So to set up the final four representing the left side, we have Money Longer versus No Problem. Which one is going to go to the championship? What are you thinking?
I feel like No Problem just be fucking Broccoli. It's got to be Money Longer.
I would agree. I'm with.
I would have liked those two to be matched up at a different spot.
I agree.
I gotta give No Problem the nod here. I think it's a championship level song.
I think it has to be. If it's knocking off Broccoli, I mean, I think Money Longer is also, at that level. So
it's a Final Four level song, but I just don't think it has the players, and the team to get it done. I just don't think they're clutch. Like I don't have the clutch gene.
That's true. So you're saying go No Problem.
I'm all right with bumping No Problem to the championship.
I agree. No Problem's got the vets. I think that gives it some championship caliber. You got Wayne, you got Chains, and then you got the rising star in 2016. So yeah, I think that's very deserving of being here in the championship.
All right. Well, we have one half complete, and let's get the other one.
Let's start it off with the first matchup. We have Ooh by Young M.A. versus Telephone Calls off of Cozy Tapes by the ASAP Mob with ASAP Rocky and Tyler Creator.
I got Telephone Calls here pretty easily.
Okay,
I think Ooh deserved to be on the list though.
100%. It was a hit. It was a huge song. Definitely deserved to be here. But Telephone Calls, I was definitely bumping Telephone Calls more in 2016. I don't think I've listened to Ooh very often ever, but Telephone Calls just it hit.
Ooh, awkwardly. I can't remember the last time why it was in something. I think it was like a female artist for the first Ox battle, but it awkwardly climbs its way into some of these matchups. So.
Yeah, but I mean,
shout out Young M.A.
Shout out. But if you're talking 2016, you got to talk about that song.
No, definitely.
Next matchup, FDT by YG and Nipsey Hussle versus Digits by Young Thug.
This, I feel like FDT, it also deserved a nod, but Digits, King Slime, Free Thugger. I mean, this is easy for me.
Okay, good. I 100% here. It's Digits. I'll bump Digits.
I still bump Digits. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Digits just came on my ride back home.
I listen to it all the time at the gym in my workout playlist. Versus FDT was a moment. I got a Hoopson story about FDT though. Before we move on, they had a little like Trump rally in Hoopson set up from the high school. Like everybody just met up at the high school and they just did a lap around town to support our president, Donald Trump, before the 2020 election. I couldn't stand for that. So I drove around, cut in the middle of their procession, and blared "Fuck Donald Trump" by YG. What a moment.
That is a moment. That is.
So yeah, that
was needed though.
That was needed. That was my song. Or that was my connection to that song. So I had to give that a shout out. But yeah, it's Digits. All right, moving on to the next matchup. We got Too Much Sauce by Future and Lil Uzi Vert versus My Shit by A Boogie with the Hoodie. Where's your head at here?
For me, it's hoodie season. Dev's gonna love this pick. Producer Dev, I gotta go My Shit.
I was listening to these songs, getting ready for the episode, and My Shit did hit. And I'm not
slapped.
Yeah, and I'm not huge into Too Much Sauce. It's a good song, definitely a good song, but I'm not really bumping either often in 2022. But I think I'm cool with going with My Shit here.
Got to for Dev.
Got to. Next matchup, we got Neighbors by J. Cole versus X by 21 Savage.
This is one of the tougher matchups on the right side for me. I'm gonna go Neighbors though.
I'd go X.
You are owed one, so I'm all right with moving X.
I say I am owed one, and I'm fine with using it here. I think. Let me see. Based on some of the other matchups we get, yeah, I'm fine with using here. I don't think there's anything I'm too passionate about here in the future. So let's go with X. I mean, that was like my intro at 21 Savage. It's a hit. Neighbors is a good song. Not my favorite song off of For Your Eyes Only, though. It is the hit, though, so I had to be here.
It was the hit, but definitely not my favorite either.
So yeah, versus X was the song I was like really into in 2016, and I'll still listen to it every now and then. So yeah, gotta be X. Next matchup, we got Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 by Kanye versus Skirt by Kodak Black.
Skirt. This is easy for me. I gotta go Father Stretch My Hands, of course.
It's gotta be Father Stretch. I had to give some love to Skirt though. That's a hit. That is so a hit.
Like I was didn't perform that in Miami. I was wanting that in Miami.
It's a little bit more like, low key though, so I could see why he wouldn't perform it live. I got a question about one song, if he performed it or not. Did he play Skrilla?
I don't think he did. No.
I love Skrilla. Like that might be my favorite Kodak song.
No, I had like a little list and Skrilla wasn't on it, but it should have been.
Skrilla's a hit. Yeah, that's Father Stretch My Hands easy though. I mean, it's a powerhouse on this bracket. We'll see how far it gets. Next matchup, we got Gassed Up. I don't even want to try to say the artist name, but you know the song. Versus Goosebumps by Travis Scott.
Travis.
It's definitely Travis.
Gassed Up was definitely like, that was another one where my boy Anthony was just banging that shit all the time, but it's definitely Goosebumps.
It's definitely Goosebumps, but Gassed Up like had to get a mention. Gassed Up was huge in 2016.
No, definitely.
Next matchup, we got Liddy by Meek Mill versus That Part by Schoolboy Q and Kanye.
I don't know how often we've mentioned Meek Mill, but Meek is one of my guys. I had to get him on here for Dream Chasers 4. Had to go with that was like that's the Drake duo there, Tory Lanez and Meek. But I got to go with That Part here easily. I just want to give Meek a mention.
Okay, yeah, I knew Meek was one of your guys. I wasn't sure.
That's a Philly legend, though. Yeah,
it is. So I wasn't sure how you're gonna be feeling about that, but I'm glad because I love That Part. Like Kanye's feature on That Part was so hard.
Okay.
Beggars can't be choosers, bitches ain't Chipotle.
Ooh, this next matchup, I'm looking ahead a little bit. Ooh.
Yeah, let's move on to it then. Next matchup. This is two powerhouses. These are hits, certified hits. Bad and Bougie versus I Spy by Kyle. This is such a tough matchup.
I'm gonna go Bad and Bougie.
I'm gonna go Bad and Bougie too, but I mean, I Spy was running it.
That does not deserve to lose first round.
It definitely does not. I remember when I Spy came out, it was like very, very close to the time Lil Yachty came to Bloomington to do a concert. And so we were bumping that like heavy that week. We're like, oh my God, he's gonna play. I don't think he even played I Spy. I think he played mostly his own songs. Yeah, he might have done Mixtape or Broccoli, but he did most of his other songs besides that.
I think Bad and Bougie's aged better, but
I would
tough
agree
for I Spy to lose first round.
I would agree. And I think Bad and Bougie is much more of like a, traditional rap song versus I Spy is more poppy, which is nothing wrong with that. But from my taste, I'll go Bad and Bougie. Although it's, it's not like one of my favorites on this list. It's a good song. It's a huge song. But I think, we're going to run into some good matchups in the future with it.
Definitely.
This is a great matchup to start our second round. On the right side, we got Telephone Calls versus Digits.
I got Digits here. I think it's close. Shout out the ASAP mob, of course, but I gotta go Digits.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler's verse on Telephone Calls is one of my favorite verses from the entire year, and that's such a packed year of great verses. But it's Digits. I mean, that's just one of the best songs of the year. It's one of the songs from that year that I still listen to often to this day. So
free YSL, free Thugger. I'm gonna say it every time we bring this one.
Next matchup, we got My Shit by A Boogie versus X by 21 and Future.
I got X here.
I got X here as well. Okay. I'm glad. I didn't know how that was gonna go. This is a heavy matchup next, though. We got Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 versus Goosebumps.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna go Father Stretch My Hands because I think Travis has done significantly better since Goosebumps. Like he's put out significantly better bangers, but Kanye, like that's probably arguably like you got a party going on. Like Father Stretch My Hands maybe is the track to go to for him.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's, definitely up there. I'm with you though. It is easily Father Stretch My Hands here. Like I agree with that reasoning 100%. Travis has so many better songs, but I mean, Father Stretch My Hands just hits. Like it's so good. And that's not to say like, I don't know, it's not deserving to be on here because it was the hit. Goosebumps was. But I mean, there were so many other good ones on the album, even that could have been here. Way Back could have been here. Beeves in the Trap could have been here. Pick Up the Phone could have been here. But
that's just a tough matchup for it to run into.
It is. Like I think a lot of other matchups it might have gone further, but you're going against Ye. You know how I feel about Ye if you've been
you're going against you're going to Yo here, so
facts. Next matchup, we got That Part versus Bad and Bougie. I'm
going Bad and Bougie here.
I'm fine with going Bad and Bougie, but I personally would have gone That Part. I was definitely bumping That Part way more in 2016. I loved it. I loved the verses from Kanye, from Schoolboy Q. The beat was crazy. Bad and Bougie was a much bigger hit, though, in comparison. It was a much bigger moment in the culture. So it's almost like the Really Doe versus Money Longer matchup. Like,
yeah,
if it's going to lose to something, I'm fine with it being Bad and Bougie.
No, I agree with you on that one. I mean, that's kind of my mind frame. I think I still would probably play That Part a little bit more, but it's Bad and Bougie, All
right, moving on to the Elite Eight on the right side of the bracket, we got Digits versus X.
I got Digits here. I mean, I think Digits it's got a really nice path here. I'm going to go with Digits though.
I'm also going with Digits. Such a strong song. It's had the longevity. It had the star power then. Yeah, I think it's, a perfect song to be in the Final Four here.
I'm all right with it being in the Final Four.
Next matchup, we got Father Stretch My Hands versus Bad and Bougie. What do you think here?
I go Father Stretch My Hands here.
I'm going Father Stretch as well.
Pretty convincingly.
Okay, so for a chance to go to the championship here, we got Digits versus Father Stretch My Hands. Tough matchup.
I'm riding with Father Stretch My Hands here.
I am conflicted. I love both these songs.
I think it's tougher than I made it out to be, but I had my mind made up a little bit beforehand. I was like trying to map out what the championship would be or the semifinals would be. So
I did not try to look ahead. So I really did not know what to, think about future matchups. So it is tough. I am fine with going with Father Stretch. This is a very, very close matchup though. Like I honestly might even listen to Digits more in 2022. But I mean, I listen to Father Stretch a lot too still. So I don't know. It's tough. It's a very tough matchup, but I'm cool with Father Stretch.
I think if you think the best two songs of 2016 are when you think of 2016, me personally, I think of Father Stretch My Hands. I think of No Problem. I don't think Digits quite makes it there. Although I would say I play that a little bit more now.
I agree. When I do think of 2016, I do think of the two songs that are in our championship, No Problem versus Father Stretch My Hands. So I think it is, a very fitting championship. And I really don't know how I'm feeling about which way I'd go on this. I think I'd go with Father Stretch My Hands, though.
I'm actually the opposite.
Wow, I've been anti No Problem 2 matchups in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Father Stretch My Hands winning, but I think my vote would be on the opposite side.
Well, that's an issue run into with having a podcast with two people, huh?
I mean, I think we put out a poll this week on Instagram and let the fans decide because this is a razor tight finish here.
But I mean, this is our bracket, so I kind of want to decide now. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty convincingly No Problem. I'm playing both songs in my head right now, and I'm stuck. I'm on No Problem. I'm not coming off No Problem.
Ooh,
and we both had one veto.
I'm fine with going No Problem, which is crazy that I have to be convinced to go with No Problem because I mean Chance was my guy in 2016, but I'm definitely not listening to No Problem that much in 2022 versus Father Stretch has had that longevity, and that's why it has that sample. I mean, it's just such a good track. I mean, the production is crazy.
I think lyrically though, like, I mean, gotta go No Problem. I mean, No Problem's not even this crazy fucking lyrical track, but I think it just does a lot more lyrically.
I would agree. I mean, you got the Bleach Asshole line from Kanye. I mean, that's nothing crazy, but I don't think it's supposed to be a lyrical song. You know, it's supposed to be.
No, yeah, it's meant for the beat. So
Okay, I'm fine with No Problem. Let's go with No Problem. No Problem, our champion. But we definitely got to put a poll this week out on Instagram to see what you guys think, because this is such a close matchup. So tune into our Instagram on Monday, because the Monday, the day this drops, because we got to see what you guys think. If you're listening when it drops, go vote on our Instagram, please.
Please, yes. I'm interested to see what the fans will think. So,
I mean, this was a very fun bracket to do. This was tough. There are so many good songs from this year. Yeah, I don't know. It was just razor tight to the end, I think.
definitely. So I'm interested to see that whoever the fans pick, that's gonna be my true winner.
I'll agree. I really don't know how they're going to go.
I'm also curious. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the thing is, I don't think that would have been the fans' matchup.
Yeah, but 20 that like those are some fucking hits. Like,
oh no, they are hits. Like
those are deservingly the championship. I didn't have a championship mapped out, but thinking like looking at, I think I would have chose those two songs at the beginning and said this should be the championship.
I think mine would have been, my final four would have been Money Longer versus Broccoli, and then it would have been Digits versus Father Stretch My Hands. I think the championship for me would have been Father Stretch My Hands versus Money Longer, and I think Money Longer would have won personally for me.
Ooh, that's the interesting part about these brackets, is bringing in personal preference here as well. So I mean,
I don't know. Money Longer just like screams 2016, because I mean, it's just,
and No Problem
SoundCloud
doesn't.
No Problem definitely does, but I would say that Money Longer does scream 2016 more, just because that was like peak SoundCloud era. And obviously Chance is, a SoundCloud guy. Like, he grew up with, Acid Rap and 10 Day on SoundCloud. He'd been running SoundCloud longer than a lot of these guys, but that SoundCloud style that was running 2016, Money Longer is much more related to that style. But I mean, all these songs on this list scream 2016 to me for the most part. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at a lot of people's winners. I think No Problem had a good chance. I think Money Longer. I think One Night. I think Broccoli. So many songs had a good shot at winning. And I'm definitely fine with it being No Problem, because, I mean, that was my 2016. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when we're saying 2016 songs in 2022, it wouldn't be my winner. But it was my 2016. So I'm definitely fine with it winning. As much as it may seem that I'm not, I am, I promise you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll let the fans decide the official winner. I think we both agreed on that. So we've had a fucking packed week of music. I had a lot of issues fucking fitting in a lot of this stuff. But for this week, we had album releases from JID, DJ Khaled, Rock Marciano and the Alchemists, Matt Kami, Michi Darko, and then we including singles from IDK, Joey Badass, Femdot featuring Saba. We had another single from Joji. We had a single from Lil TJ, Lil Baby, Nav, and Pierre Bourne. Ooh, that was a lot. And these are some fucking huge names.
Huge names.
Not even to mention all the features on Khaled's fucking album.
No, and I mean, I'm going to get crucified, but I have not listened to DJ Khaled yet. I don't also know a single song off of it yet. I want to sit down and listen to it in full.
That's kind of what
only listened to JID so far.
Yeah, I had to listen to JID first. Of course, that's what I got the first play. But I mean, throughout work, DJ Khaled album was a little bit nicer to have just going while I'm working and everything.
100%.
I will say, JID, crazy fucking album.
Definitely worth the wait. I'm very curious to see how, the Billboard charts are going to look. Is JID at the level where he can beat DJ Khaled? I don't know.
I don't think he's going to. I think that DJ Khaled album's so fucking loaded. Like that feature list is a fucking god squad. That is the Avengers. JID deserves it though. He has the better project.
He does have the better project, but like you said, the names on Khaled, I think that alone is going to give him the number one album. I would just love to get a second video of DJ Khaled from the car talking about mysterious music, like when he got beat by Tyler. If he's doing that about JID, I'm gonna be like loving it.
I want another one of those moments, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. Although, like I said, I'll reiterate this: JID had the better project.
100%. JID's album is so good. It was so worth the wait. It's been a minute since DiCaprio 2, but I mean, I'm not complaining now.
No, definitely. And I mean, we'll get into the DiCaprio series a little bit later. Were you able to give any of these singles a listen though?
Had to listen to my guy DK, of course. Dropped the 2-pack. Both the songs are fire. Drive and Free Slime. Such good tracks. He's really in a different mode right now. He's going crazy. I love to see it. These tracks are very good. So if you haven't given them a listen, please do.
Definitely. The IDK tracks were very good listens. Shout out Lil TJ though. Lil TJ is back. After getting shot. I mean, pretty much the whole song is about beating the odds. My favorite moment from the track, he fucking drops the ops name, the dead ops. He fucking drops a mean diss on him. That was crazy too. This is a good track though. I really enjoyed the Lil TJ track and obviously the backstory from it as well.
I haven't checked that one out yet, so I'm gonna have to do that. I realized I forgot it on our Instagram post. If you guys saw that on Friday, yeah, so it's tough. But shout out to Lil TJ. Good to see him winning again. Got to give a shout to Joey too. He added "Let It Breathe" to 2000, so that was cool. Good song. I love that song since it dropped on YouTube. I think it dropped on his birthday in like 2021 maybe, or 2020 even. But yeah, it's been a long time either way. So to have it on streaming services officially, love it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fucking stacked week. This is like maybe the biggest week we've had since we started doing this. So I mean, a lot that we're gonna have to listen to still. So I mean, I'm really excited to get into it.
100%. Still a lot to go for me personally. I got to give DJ Khaled a listen. Got to listen to the Derringer and Mayhem Loren album. Got to listen to Rock Marciano. And got to listen to some of these singles. But yeah, definitely a huge week. And us recording on a Friday definitely did not help me get through this because I got stuff to do during the day. So did have a chance to give all of them a listen, but listen to some in the car, some on the run. Obviously got JID. I'll sit down, listen. But yeah, we'll be back next week with, more thoughts on those albums.
This week definitely deserves a little bit of, that'll be the intro to next week because this week is nuts.
Next piece of news here. AI rapper FN Meka was both signed and dropped by Capitol Records this week. What are your thoughts on AI rappers?
It's really interesting. So I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm not going to give it the publicity that these fucking record labels want.
Well, they dropped him, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
But it was so crazy seeing this robot drop the N-bomb. I was like, all right.
Let's get into some real news.
It was crazy. You can't be a rapper. You just can't have an AI rapper. Like rapping is so much about like wit and creativity and feelings and emotion and storytelling and all these things that an AI just cannot convey. And it's just so crazy to me that that's a real thing.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's a bizarre situation. I'm not giving it the attention.
I know, whatever. But I mean, and we're saying this now, but what if in like 10 years it's just normal?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. But I saw a video on YouTube, and it was talking about AIs replacing people in like campaigns and on YouTube and stuff like that. There was an AI that was in like a PacSun commercial, and they have like so many followers on YouTube or TikTok, and there's an AI Tony the Tiger Twitch streamer. Like, it's just so crazy that this is what we're exposed to in 2022, I guess.
No, it is nuts, absolutely nuts. And You're gonna see me. What's Will Smith and is it like Robot or iRobot?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
iRobot,
one
yeah.
of those scenes. If that's the case, I'm gonna have one of those scenes where he's fucking pointing the gun at the robots and one of them runs off. So
We might be seeing that soon. Who knows? All right, let's move on to some more news, though. We got JID back in the news again. Obviously, he dropped his project, but there is news that his next release will be DiCaprio 3, a follow-up in the DiCaprio series to 2018's DiCaprio 2. This time, it'll be a Gangsta Grills mixtape with DJ Drama, and he'll be rapping over other artists' beats. What are your thoughts on this news?
this is fucking exciting news. Like, I mean, just everything about that is just super exciting. I don't even like. This is just. I can't wait for this. Not only is it gangster, not only is it a DiCaprio series, it's Gangsta Grills, and he's going over rappers' beats. Like, he's not gonna miss over any of those. So
yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Is there any artist whose beats you want to see JID rap over?
I want to see a J. Cole beat. I don't know which one yet, but that was like one of the ones that initially came to mind. Like maybe even like just a Tale of Two Cities or something. I want to see him rap over a J. Cole hit,
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I think that those two are so close, it's like not that crazy of a thought. Like I think it's very possible. The thing I'm mainly wondering about is, are these samples in it cleared? Is it going to be on streaming services versus, is it going to be on SoundCloud or whatever exclusively? So I think maybe it'd be easier if they're on his label. So especially with like Dreamville, I think it'd be obviously easy to get those samples cleared. But there's so many other people out there I'd love to hear him on their beats, like a Tyler the Creator or something like that. Like if he was on just so like on Lemonhead or something like that, I think that would go crazy.
I agree with you there. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. This is one of the most excited I've been just off hearing off the news from it. So
yeah, and we haven't got a project like that in a while. You know what I mean? Like a rapper rapping on other people's beats for the full project. Like I think that's definitely a thing rappers do when they're coming up, but you don't see a rapper as established as JID doing that. So it'll be pretty cool to see.
Definitely. This is going to be a situation we'll monitor.
Always. Let's move on to the next news here, though. We got two pieces of news to wrap it up here that, aren't so positive, aren't so happy. First, Fetty Wap pleads guilty in a drug trafficking case and is going to face 5 years in prison minimum. This is tough to see. You hate to see it.
Yeah. I was in New York when Fetty Wap got popped in New York coming to Rolling Loud. So it was like too sudden. They didn't have any replace the set time. So we just sat there for 45 minutes. And I was super excited to see Fetty Wap regardless. Crazy stuff though.
Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, today we did 2016 bracket, but if we did 2015, Fetty Wap would have been running it up.
Fetty Wap is
so. I mean, he was so big in rap for a minute, and he had a little resurgence. It felt like, and so now it's just tough to see.
Definitely. Are you still banging Fetty Wap to this day? The project?
Not too much, but like when it comes on, I'm like, this was a moment, and
this man had a whole. Yeah,
he really did, and it still pains me to this day that the Drake "My Way" remix is not on streaming services.
No, that is one that I still go back to YouTube to revisit. So
you have to every now and then.
I don't want to say free Fetty Wap, but free Fetty Wap.
Okay, respect. Other news here: Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs beef has escalated pretty quickly this week. It feels like
it's really escalated.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, we'll spare the details.
But if you haven't checked out their Twitters, their Instagrams, check it out. Not good for two people that used to be collaborators. Hate to see it. And now there's more and more talk from each of them. I will say Freddie is being like hilarious on his Instagram story. He's got banned from Instagram so many times, so you're probably not following him, even if you are a fan of Freddie Gibbs. But his new Instagram is @FreeBigRabbit, so go check out his Instagram because he is, being pretty funny in the stories right now.
No, it's definitely funny. But this is like crazy.
No, it's funny for us, but this is real life stuff that I don't want to get in from the perspective of a fan of these two. Hate to see it.
Definitely. This is like I don't. There's not even much you can comment on it. It's just like so crazy, like the events that have transpired throughout all of this. I mean, especially what happened this past week.
Wild, but yeah, I mean, this is a good episode. I really enjoyed doing the 2016 bracket. I think that wraps everything up. I mean, we covered the news, we covered the releases, talked Sweet Corn Festival. What else could you want from an episode from us?
Exactly. So I mean, go vote on the Instagram poll. I'm excited to see how that goes. And then, but like you said, I think that about wraps it up. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep, I think that just about wraps it up. But next week we'll be back with an episode talking about some of our favorite rapper tweets. We haven't decided the format yet, if it's going to be a tier list, if it's going to be, a top 10, or we're going to be talking. But I mean, if you're on Twitter, some of these rappers have had some crazy tweets, and we just want to talk about it. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be, pretty funny, pretty interesting. So we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Peace.